You would think with Who's Playing Santa, Winona Ryder would play Mrs. Claus in a cameo. But what we get is pretty good too. So, Violent Night. Basically, Die Hard, if it were scaled down a bit. The Christmas theme turned up a little bit higher, and Bruce Willis was Santa. Or in this case, Jim Hopper from Stranger Things is Santa. And he plays Santa like a mix between the drunkard Santa from Twilight Zone's Night of the Meek, who drinks to forget because all the cynicism is finally weighing him down, and also throw in a backstory that sort of involves the concept of Santa paying penance for past sins. And basically you got this version of Santa. And honestly, it works. The actor plays him perfectly. He's sympathetic, he's pathetic, but at the same time, he's got a warmness and a charm that really shines through at the end. You feel that he's on a similar level to the Santas of past programs. And also, he kicks butt. But he's not infallible. He's just barely surviving. That's what makes him so relatable. The little girl, who is sort of part of the crux of the plot when it comes to character interaction, she's okay. I've certainly seen worse child actors, but she straddles the line between kind of silly and pretty good. Her family is delightfully dysfunctional. They have money, but they're not wealthy, if you know what I mean. And each member of the family has their own unique style. And when you see them in danger, you almost think, yeah, you feel for them. Now, for the villain, he's fairly relatable in that, not to spoil too many things, but he starts down his path because of financial troubles having to do with his family, and how Christmas kind of burned him when he was a kid, even though he started out good. He let himself go down a path that ultimately led to, well, you'll have to see the movie to find out. As for the henchmen, they're not stupid. Their aim could be a little better. They're borderlining on stormtroopers, but overall, the henchmen are entertaining as they interact with each other and their fight scenes with Santa. And when they go down, it's satisfying because they were like mini bosses in a video game. Not unbeatable, but at the same time not too easy. Well, some of them were, but others, they really brought the humanity to disposable characters. The gore effects were practical and definitely did not hold back. I believed that these characters were getting injured, even though some of the ends were a little silly. They were silly, but believable. The effects for the Christmas magic were actually sort of classic sparkle that we've probably seen in other films, but they were a little more believable this time. The setting was gorgeous, reminiscent of Kevin McAllister's home from Home Alone, which was on purpose because they reference Home Alone quite a bit. Not too much, but more than once. The story overall, it was a bit slow at first, but as we moved toward the payoff, it got really satisfying. And if you sort of lost some of that old-fashioned Christmas spirit and it's been replaced with just a wee bit of cynicism, this is definitely a modern classic worth visiting every year. Everyone did a great job. The writers, the director, the film crew, the cast, obviously, and the effects technicians brought this film the kind of life a classic Christmas movie deserves. I highly recommend, if you're a cynic, or even if you're not a cynic, to check this film out at least once, and maybe check it out every year. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, the holidays aren't for everyone, but at the same time, everyone deserves to be able to celebrate. And never underestimate someone just because they're jolly all the time.